Long time no see, YouTube. This is HecknoJam. Today, the film we're going to hack is Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Warning, watch out for spoilers!
Let's first take a look at long takes. There are a lot of scenes in Jaws that are shot in one long takes. Spielberg put several different shots into a single unbroken shot unless it was absolutely necessary to divide them.
This is a rare find in today's films because it's a very complex process to choreograph everything in order, such as acting, movements, camera work, lighting, and others. And it's even harder to execute all these elements perfectly in a single take.
But when it's done the right way, it's seriously unbelievable. In this film, cameras never move without any objectives. Instead, they constantly react to and follow where the actors are going.
Also, Spielberg fully utilizes the background, middle ground, and foreground of the shot by moving actors from one plane to another, which we'll discuss further in this video.
Among a lot of good one long takers in the film, we think this is the best one. Let's first look at the composition. Characters are cornering Chief Brody, the person they have to persuade, to the edge of the boat as if they are threatening him.
As the persuasion resumes, Chief Brody and the mayor walk towards the camera twice, giving us a medium-long shot, medium shot, and a medium close-up shot to naturally emphasize the content of the dialogue in one smooth long take.
It's also an excellent location for a long take. A long dialogue scene can get dull, but here, the background constantly changes as the boat moves, making this 2-minute long take with little camera movement a less boring one.
Jaws is not a film with intricate image systems, but it still uses it as a device for provoking the theme and motives by repeatedly showing similar images throughout the film. Here, it is being used to show the development of the character and foreshadow. This type of visual evocation or comparison allows the audience to extract meanings by constructing relationships between the constantly shown images to understand the story better.
Now, let's see how Spielberg visually provides information. Let's take a look at the characters. First, Chief Brody.
Listen, Chief. Be careful, will you?
In this town? Hey!
Brody is a policeman in Amity Island, and as you can see here, he likes to remain inside boundaries. And he's a bit clumsy.
You're an islander?
No, New York City.
He might look like that because he is still a stranger to the island, and because he is not experienced with being on boats.
He has an inner conflict of having been traumatized by water, and he eventually overcomes it as the movie reaches the end, making him the only noticeable multidimensional character of the film.
You son of a...
Next is Quint. His strong presence can be seen from his very first appearance in the movie. Unlike the people on the island, he kills sharks for a living. The wonderful art done inside his house shows that he's just the guy we've been waiting for, and you can also see that from the smiles of Chief Brody and Matt Hooper.
Which doesn't help much in the end. But hey, you should have known it from early on when you saw this.
This guy here trying to knock me down $100 a day.
Next is Hooper. He's small and a childish brat.
You rich?
Yeah. He's from a rich family, is stubborn, and is boastful. At least he has some practical manners.
I got red and white. I didn't know what you'd be serving.
Oh, that's nice.
This is Mayor Larry, who makes Chief Brody's life difficult by opposing to close down the beaches. His jacket full of anchors shows his commitment towards the 4th of July event on the island, which is also visually shown with this one-way sign when he stubbornly refuses to follow Brody and Hooper's advice.
Maybe a marlin or a stingray, but it's definitely a game fish.
If there's Larry who makes Chief Brody's life difficult on land, in the ocean, there's the shark. The interesting fact is that the shark doesn't fully show itself until the late second half of the movie. But instead, the film builds up the tension and terror of the shark by using other visual methods. It's strong, brutal, and vicious.
Yes, the medical inspector.
These are some examples of visually showing information. Instead of saying what he hears in the phone call, he types it in the typewriter to emphasize its importance to the story. The billboard and the marching band foretell the upcoming significant event on the island. And the floating wooden stick and the bloody rubber raft show who the victims are from the shark attack.
I know you got a lot of problems downtown, but I've got a couple of...
And here, a split-fill diopter is used to visually show that Schiff's attention is split into the person in front of him, as well as the couple in the water. The dolly zoom shot here shows the moment of shock as Chief Brody faces his worst fear becoming true.
The usage of color is pretty interesting too. Spielberg uses red, yellow, blue, green, and black as a device to explore characters' personality, situations, and relationships. What's intriguing is that, while Quint and Hooper are wearing clothes of contrasting colors to show their gap in the beginning, once they begin to know each other better, they can be seen wearing the same color to visually show their closer relationship.
The compositions of shots are simple, yet stunning. Spielberg's superior skill set becomes more clear in group shots rather than singles. In Jaws, oftentimes 3 characters are placed in the foreground, middle ground, and background of the shot to form a triangle. The space and height difference between these characters create a triangle, thus a vanishing point which creates depth to the shot with its dynamic composition.
When shot in low angle, like many times in Jaws, the low angle itself creates a vanishing point for each of the characters, which makes the shot even more realistic. The more vanishing points there are in the shot, the more depth and realistic the shot gets.
Also, placing the talker and listener in the same shot avoids disrupting the flow of the conversation while effectively showing the action and reaction of both people at the same time.
What are you talking about? Larry, the summer is over.
When you think of sharks, this music immediately crosses your mind. The theme music comes on whenever the shark appears from the water, but later in the film, the music never plays, totally catching the audience off guard. Like this.
The soundtrack of Jaws is pretty adventure-y, something you'd hear from movies like Indiana Jones, which can sound a little out of place if you hear it now.
But music that is too scary or intense throughout the entire film might have made the movie too frightening, which wasn't what Spielberg had in his mind. He wants people to be frightened when they see the predator, but also to get excited when they see progress within characters.
You gotta get somebody to help us. Yeah, get those roadblock signs out on the highway.
This is all we have for Jaws. They put a lot of comic scenes to make it less scary and boring. So we'll end this by showing some of those scenes. See you next week.
I'm gonna stuff your friggin' head in there, man, and find out if it's a man, all right? Come on.
But if I can get him close enough to this cage, I think I could get him in the mouth or
That
beyond.
shark will rip that cage to pieces.
You got any better suggestions?